Stardust City Rag.
Stardust City Rag. We were close.
Well, close only counts in horseshoes.
And hand grenades. And global thermonuclear war.
Would you like to play a game?
Greetings, Joshua. What is up, interwebs? Big Blue here. Matt, the Catman, with me as always.
As always.
And we have just watched episode 5 of Star Trek Picard.
Maybe for a few times.
Well, I've only seen it once. Stardust City Rag. And this is the first episode that doesn't start out with a cold open with the Martian incident.
With a Martian in it. Yeah, that's true. It does flashback, though.
It does. Only 13 years this time.
We go back and we see, and here's where I have questions for you.
Yes.
My friend.
Yes.
We see flashing back 7 of 9.
Yes.
Fan favorite. Going in to rescue one of her fallen comrades.
Yes, going back to save Icheb.
Icheb. Now, I don't remember Icheb. Do you...
Okay, so there was a storyline in Voyager where they came across, I think it was in season 5 or 6, where they came across 3 Borg children who had been partially assimilated, and Icheb was the oldest of those children.
Okay.
They eventually found the families of the other 2, and Icheb stayed on board Voyager as another crew member.
I see.
And she, 7 of 9, kind of, they found his family too, and it turned out that they were using Icheb as a bioweapon against, they genetically bred him to fight the Borg.
Okay.
So that they purposely sent him off to get assimilated to fight the Borg. So when they got
the cheese in the rat trap.
Yeah. So when he was assimilated, they... which is kind of what I was going to bring up last week when we were talking about what happened to the artifact. Did somebody get assimilated? Did they assimilate something that didn't agree with them?
I see.
Because that's something that they have toyed with before in Star Trek. Because they did it in Voyager.
Right. No, I remember 7 of 9 being familial with Naomi Wild. Was it Naomi Wild?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Wildman.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. It's Wildman's daughter.
Yes.
And they were, and she was mother like to her, but I didn't remember. I guess I wasn't the biggest Voyager fan.
Yeah.
I guess so. I'd missed a few of those.
Right, and eventually Naomi Wildman and Icheb became brother sister type relationship. So
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So watching 7 have to kill Icheb got me in the gut right out of the gate there at the beginning of the episode. So yeah, it was, and I like the pull there, pulling back some Voyager references. So
yeah, and the fact that she's a ranger, that's pretty cool.
I like the line that she had when she's talking to Picard, where he's like, "Taking the law into your own hands," and she goes,
"What law?
What law?" And he goes, "Okay, that's fair."
Yeah.
The Fenrir Rangers, is that what they were called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is that a reference to? Do you know if that's a reference to anything?
It's not one I'm familiar with. I checked around and I didn't see anything.
Because I got to be perfectly honest with you, it sounds like something out of The Lord of the Rings. It sounds like an elven trove of rangers that go through Middle Earth, solving crimes.
The House of Elrond.
Yes. Yeah.
There's another little tidbit that gets dropped.
Yes.
And Dr. Girardi and Maddox.
Yeah.
Lovers?
Yeah. Apparently.
Looking that way.
Yeah, I mean, she's watching the holo video of them kind of having a little chocolate chip cookie action going there.
I think there's a good deal more to that.
I think so too.
And I'll express my theory on that later.
Yeah. So let's also start into the other part of the cold open. We start there with 7 of 9, coming in to try and save Icheb. We find out that he's being harvested for Borg parts, and then we jump to like 2 weeks prior to the events of the show starting.
Yeah.
With Maddox seeking refuge on Freehold.
Freecloud.
Freecloud. Freehold's a dungeon in World of Warcraft. Never mind. So,
Cloud City is where
yeah.
Colt 45 is served.
Hello, what have we here? So yeah, and I thought that was interesting that he went, you know, how bad do you have to be on the run to go seek refuge from that type of criminal syndicate, you know? So
Freecloud to me would be like if Amazon in Las Vegas had a child.
Yeah, it definitely to me was, there's for you Star Wars lore junkies out there, you'll watch this episode and go, oh, it's Nar Shaddaa, duh, because it definitely was very much, you know, controlled by the Hutt gangsters and you know, but yeah, it was the Las Vegas of the of the neutral zone in this case. So I like that we got the clarification that once the thing happened, the neutral zone fell, which is the first definitive confirmation that there is no more neutral zone.
Sure, why would there be?
Yeah.
There's no Romulan space because there's no Romulus.
Well, they made mention to there's Romulan space because he said, hey, we're going to go to the artifact, and then Rios said that's in Romulan space.
But there's not like a stronghold.
Yeah.
There's not like a stronghold, which the neutral zone is like a buffer around.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is. It's interesting. The little nuggets of State of the Galaxy stuff that we're getting is, to me, the most interesting part of this show so far.
I tell you what, if there was one thing that disappointed me,
Sure.
was that we didn't get any more backstory with on the artifact.
I'm okay with that because I don't think there's any more for them to tell because we still have so many more episodes to go.
Perhaps, but I like to see Soji.
I'm not saying
doing her thing.
I'm not saying I don't, but I also don't want filler either.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
I want it to have substance.
I'll stand corrected.
Yeah. So
I do get a bit of Rafi's backstory.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was because I did go back and rewatch a couple of the other earlier episodes again, and she does specify that she had addiction issues before the events before Picard found her and recruited her for the Romulan relocation, and
so she was not a likely candidate,
right? Yeah. So the conversation that she has with her son there on in the hospital, with her trying to say, "Oh, hey, I'm clean" and stuff like that, and I gotta be perfectly honest with you, being on the son's end of that conversation with a lot of my friends who have battled with addiction and stuff, I empathize greatly with her son's things. Like, yeah, words are great. Words are cheap, and I get it that we're supposed to, you know, be on Rafi's side here, and there was no doubt in anyone's mind that she was going back to, you know, be on Picard's crew and stuff, but
I think it was meant to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, and
because at one hand you see that, you know, she is trying, and on the other hand you see that there's been the heart has been broken before.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a really great character moment for her. It told us a lot about who she is based on the fact that Picard's trying to give her an olive branch to say, hey, I need your help with this, whereas she's expecting her son to do the same thing. And I'm wondering if that's some foreshadowing that if she's, you know, allows Picard to, you know, if she accepts Picard's, you know, olive branch, maybe that'll be some foreshadowing, in later on to make amends with her son and stuff.
It reminded me a lot of the novel You Can't Go Home Again by Thomas Wolfe.
Okay.
And in that there are a lot of similar themes where you cannot put Humpty Dumpty back together.
No.
Once it's broken, it is broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. So. What else you got there in your little notebook there, buddy?
So here's what I found interesting is that so we go to the Cloud City, and the main protagonist is a woman named Baisiel,
Yeah.
and she refers to Seven of Nine by her human name,
Right.
by Annika.
Yeah, and that was one of the themes throughout a lot of Voyager was Seven battling between, do I drop the moniker of Seven and go by Annika, or do I fully embrace the fact that I am who I am because I was raised in the Borg Collective?
Right.
And ultimately she decides that the child that was Annika was killed by the Borg. I am Seven of Nine.
That's what I assumed as well.
Yeah.
Now, why does Baisiel refer to her as Annika?
And
quite familiarly.
I'm guessing that in the interim between when Voyager came home and that incident with Icheb, something happened to Seven/Annika where she decided, no, I'm going to be Annika. I'm on Earth. This is where my people are. And then when Icheb died, she's like, no, it's time for it. I need to be Seven. I need to be, I need to be the Ranger. I need to do what I was born to do.
She needs to have that Borg feeling,
Yeah.
or lack thereof.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it was interesting that whatever ties to her humanity she had was killed when she had to kill Icheb. And that's what I think was alluded to, and I think that's what we're going to find out more definitively as the series progresses.
Now, there was another twist and turn that you say you saw coming. I did not.
Yeah.
Where Dr. Girardi ends up just taking the axe to Dr. Maddox.
Yeah. I knew he was not going to make it. It was too easy for him to just show up and then tell Picard everything that Picard needed to know. It was too easy. Something was going to happen. And I knew that also it was too easy for her just to have shown up right in time to kill that Romulan that was attacking Picard's chateau in episode 3 or whatever it was.
Okay.
As soon as Maddox started talking to Picard and they kept cutting and showing her reaction, I was like, oh, she's the mole. Duh. And it was, to me, quite obvious.
Well, what's interesting, though, that Dr. Maddox said that he asked her, did you see Dodge? Did you ever meet Dodge?
Yeah.
And she said no. And he says, Dr. Soong and I did it.
Yeah.
And of course, Dr. Soong is the creator of Data.
Yeah.
Dr. Soong has long been dead in the Star Trek canon. He died midway through
Next
Generation. Right. At the hand of Lore.
Right. It could be that, I mean, how many times have they had a holographic representation of somebody's consciousness?
Maybe. Maybe. But there was an episode of Next Gen where Dr. Soong's wife appears, and it turns out Data figures this out because she plays the viola too perfectly every time that she is in fact an android, and she doesn't realize it. That Dr. Soong has actually programmed the perfect android and has programmed his wife to be that android, and they don't know it.
I wonder if that's who Dodge was talking to on the hologram in the first episode.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This raises many questions for me.
See, that's the storyline I want them to get back to. I mean, that's when I was saying it's starting to lose me a little bit. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is cool and stuff like that. And I'm this is where week to week television to me is at a disadvantage to just binging it, because I'm so spoiled by just being able to sit and just watch a full narrative unfold over the course of a weekend that watching it week to week, like, I guarantee you, if we weren't doing these reviews, I would probably stop watching this. And when it all came out, I just watched the whole thing. Because that's just where I'm at with how I watch stuff now.
I have another theory.
Please.
Is that Dr. Girardi is part of Section 31.
Maybe.
Because we have not heard from Section 31. They have been conspicuously absent. And I don't think all of this would be going on without some of their knowledge on Earth with the Tal Shiar and the Zhat Vash.
Maybe, but then why go to the trouble of showing her get emotionally compromised over killing Maddox?
It's possible that she was compromised over killing Maddox. Maybe they were in fact lovers.
Maybe
She wasn't just a plant.
Maybe.
Think on that.
I will. I don't. It's possible. I don't think it's likely, though.
And I also like to know what Dr. Maddox meant when he said he was working with Dr. Soong.
And what did Yoda mean when he said, "No, there is another"?
No! Different IP.
Right. My bad. I apologize.
Keep it straight.
Yeah, and I also... Did you have any doubt in your mind that Seven was going to beam back down to the planet and light some folks up?
No, and I knew Picard knew she was going to do that as well as soon as she took the phasers.
Yeah.
But now the question is, will we see 7 of 9 again?
Oh, yeah, no, she's billed for like 6 episodes.
Stop looking at IMDb. It's not always right.
She would not be in all of the promotional material if it was just the one episode.
I'll give you some promotional material.
Just saying, dude.
I would like to see this.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, she's not done. They're not going to have it be this Borg-centric and not have 7 of 9 in the show. I mean, they're freaking mining a Borg cube, for Christ's sake.
Okay, so when do you think the Queen comes into play? You know, it's got to be there.
She's the cliffhanger of season 1, dude.
The Borg Queen is always in play.
She's the cliffhanger. She's the oh, well, this is interesting. Credits of season 1.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents. So
I'm excited.
I'm excited. I couldn't tell. Yeah, no, I am thoroughly enjoying the show. I just, you know, like I told you off before we started recording, you know, I'm liking the show. I wish that I was loving the show like I wanted to. You know, I don't know what I was expecting the show to be, but it's not quite what I expected it to be, and it's very entertaining, and I'm enjoying it. But
only halfway through.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so we will see where this continues going from here. We got episode 6 next week, so stay tuned for that. And I have yet to watch Clone Wars. I know it dropped today, but
I watched it.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, the Bad Batch episode is in episode 1 of that, so that's going to be interesting. So stay tuned for those episodes once we get those reviews. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click this link right here and hit the subscribe button. We got some other fun reviews for you to watch right here, and we will catch...
This one's going out to all ships at sea.
That's all we got to say about that. We'll see you next time.